Hello students. Yesterday we have talked about and we have stopped at stages in globalization. Now we are moving ahead with new topic called multinational corporations. So called MNCs, the multinational corporation. So what they are, how they transact their business, how they perform their activities, and why they are different from other form of companies. So let's go ahead and read the definition. Multinational corporation are businesses that operate in multiple countries, especially beyond their home country. Home country is the country in which the company is registered. That country is called home country for MNC. They play a significant role, that is important role, in shaping global economies. Why? Because they move goods and services at a mega level. Not only economies, they shape the culture and they drive technologies from the developed nation to underdeveloped country. So in a simple word, multinational companies are those mega companies which are working in more than one continent and many countries. They transact business activities at a you can say mega level, supply to n number of consumer variety of products. But there are certain things which make MNC different from transactional company, because as we know there are different type of company. The company one is national company. The company which transact business activities within the nation is called a national company. Then transnational company. This is also a big company working for international business. Transnational company do have decentralized management. It has decentralized management, means they give chance to local authorities. Local authorities means their subsidiaries do have decisive role in order to set up business practices and perform those activities. But in case of multinational company, this follow centralized structure of management, means the policies for all the type of operations are made at the headquarters, and all the subsidiary companies do follow the same line of hierarchy and the policies as headquarter has decided. So in a simple word, multinational company are those mega companies which have headquarters set up in one country, business operation in many country, but the policies are made at the headquarter level and followed by everywhere. Let's talk about characteristics of the multinational company. The first thing, as we already have discussed, global presence. These companies are present in almost all the continent where business is possible. You can find example like McDonald's, etc. They are kind of MNCs. So they are not only selling in one nation, in one continent, neither one category of product they are going to supply. They have the chain of product, or you can say range of product for almost all set of consumer. All set of consumer. Then large scale operation. By the definition, you might have already understood that these companies are not working like small scale industry at a local level. These companies are meant for bigger operation. They produce and supply to the global market, and accordingly their policies are designed, their strategies are designed, their operations are designed. They hire the similar category of staff who can handle the global supply chain management, who can produce at the mega level, and who can deliver the product on time to especially all kind of market and all the available options. Then centralized control. This is the pointer which make MNC different from global company, transnational company and national company. Right? These two are the companies which are dealing with international business. But global company is also having a similar, but not that much. It is completely centralized. Global company do have one policy for, you can say, all the countries, all the kind of product, they have one particular policy. Like take example of Apple. They have their standard policy designed for a particular product, followed by all the stores and outlets worldwide. But MNCs are following centralized control, but they have inputs, they allow inputs, just a sec, they allow inputs from the local management also. Means from their subsidiary members also. They allow a bit of, means if we compare with the transnational company, MNC is more centralized. But if we do compare MNC from the global company, then global company is more centralized. And so the MNC is, you can say 80% centralization it depend upon, and 20% of decentralized structure they follow. Moving ahead with the next pointer called advanced technology. Guys, if a company is dealing with such a scale and such kind of market, means they cover from developed to developing to underdeveloped, they cover all the kind of consumer, they sell everything, they try selling everything to everyone. So they have to be dependent upon the technology, and they have to be the change agent in the market in terms of technology. Means they bring change in the market from the technology point of view. They have their own R&D department, research and development department, which is continuously involved in figuring out new innovation, invention, and by using those inventions and innovation, they do patent and produce the product and services based on that, and they amaze the market in the they amaze the consumers in the market in a point of view. Next is global branding. They do not only rely their brand for their branding policy, which is centralized at their own country, but they do brand the product globally. Means before branding, what is mean by branding? Let's find out. A brand is a name or a term or a sign or symbol, number or combination of these all. Combination of these all, which can bring or make the product unique to the consumer and occupy a different identity in the consumer's mind. So what is a brand? A brand is a name, term, sign, symbol, number or combination of these all, which is going to acquire and identify itself as a unique one. Take example of Hero Honda CD100. है ना, it is combination of alphabets and numbers. Take example of 555. This is mere number. Take example of this sign. This is the logo for Nike. So these all are the branding patterns. This is by using this particular scenarios and symbols and names, the company is building the brand, and because of that brand name, they are recognizable, identifiable and separable from the competitors of them in a global market. Next we talk about focus on efficiency. Let's figure out what is meant by efficiency. So efficiency is nothing but the capacity of a man, machine or anything to produce something or to work on something or to deliver something. That's called efficiency. If the strategies are nicely planned, if the resources are nicely arranged, they meant to achieve the efficiency. They can deliver that efficient product. Means, let's say if our staff do make mistake in the production, we will have lot of wastage product. Due to wastage, what will happen is cost of the production will increase, because it will waste material, it will waste money, it will waste labor, it will waste means that proper opportunity is getting wasted because of wastage. So we have to avoid the wastage by having proper plan, hiring proper people who are knowledgeable, who are efficient enough to produce on the given technology at the given rate and at the given machinery, because machinery nowadays are becoming high tech. They are computerized and operated by using AI and many other formats. So the employee should be capable of operating on that, because if the employee is capable, single unit of employee is capable, everyone will accumulate their performance and they will deliver the result on time, which will bring company on the efficiency. So these big conglomerates, multinational company, do focus on maintaining efficiency. Then product adaptability. They are not rigid. They study the market well. They study the consumer perception well. They identify the gaps between you can say consumer buying behavior process. They identify which process can enhance the satisfaction of the consumer. They also try to identify the gap between supply chain management, means when can be product delivered, how efficiently it can be delivered, how mechanized way we can use for production so that the product may be new and it should look, you can say, amaze the consumer. So they follow the trend, they follow the customer expectation and they deliver the product as the consumer is willing to you can say accept. Then influence on global trade. These multinational companies do have a strong influence on the global trade, because they are the driving forces. They drive investment, they drive flow of goods, they drive flow of resources from one nation to another, and because of them only, in the you can say, if I say in a dramatic way, because of these MNCs and their presence only, we can say the developing nations and the underdeveloped countries are securing growth patterns. So these were the characteristics of multinational company. We revise once: global presence, large scale of operation, centralized control, advanced technology, global branding, focus on efficiency, product adaptability and influence on the global trade. Now what role they play? Next question it is, what role they play? Who? Multinational corporations. First thing is economic contribution. in the last pointer just now I have told you that these are the mega factors or key forces to drive investment, to mobilize the resources, or to mobilize the manpower, technology, etc. So yes, they have efficient and measurable and impactful contribution on the economic front. Next thing is they known for Next thing is they known for technology transfer. These are the multinational companies only which brings technology, the updated technology from developed nation to underdeveloped or developing nation. Because the government R&D department of any country will not have enough money to perform the research and development at this scale. These companies, multinational companies, do have billions of amount of you can say money secured in a particular account dedicated for research and development. They can hire the best people, best researcher, let's say on the technology, on the social trend, on the consumer buying pattern, on the economic analysis, data analysis and everything. So what they produce as a result, they always amaze the humanity with their growth of technology. I'll quote here Tesla, because of the SpaceX company, whose founder is of course Elon Musk, who have developed the technology so that they can deploy rocket into the space and they can bring the same rocket launcher to Earth again, which can be used for, let's say, a different launch pattern. So take example of Tesla. It is a company. The same founder has started with SpaceX, which have continuously involved itself into research and development activities, and they now have developed technology in terms of space technology. They can launch a rocket launcher, launch their satellite, place it into the orbit of Earth. They can bring the rocket launcher again to the Earth, and same rocket launcher can be used for next launch. So this is going to save the cost. Means in the whole world, Russia is having its space program. You can say USA is having its space program. India, China, and many other countries do have their space program. But it was the private company, it was the businessman's company which has you can say been successfully conducted this kind of experiment, because he was able to afford it and he was having the manpower, he was having the resources. So this is how they inspire and they develop the technology, and they do transfer it to the nations across where their product is going to sell. Next is market expansion. What is expansion? If let's say company A is working in a set of zone, it is selling its product XYZ. Now the company will sell the same product in market B. Same product without any modification and all will be sold out in market B. So they are maximizing the consumer by the way of expansion, and because of that, by looking at the operation and operational capability of these MNCs, the smaller firms are also inspiring and moving global. Next point is skill development. The people they hire, they are trained by these companies, and because of the training which these companies are providing to the people they hire, means their employee, the skill is getting developed. Means Due to their training, the people are getting skilled and they are able to deliver the results which they could never do. So that's what skill development. Now moving ahead with the global integration. What is meant by integration? Integration means coming together, combining the resources. Means what they are doing, the multinational companies, they are locating resources in all the part of the globe, and wherever they find the resources which are useful for them, it could be natural resources, it could be manpower, it could be you can say consumer, it could be, let's say, the opportunity and everything. So wherever they find these all the sources, what they do is they exploit these resources for betterment of them, for maximization of their profit, and in result what society is getting is they are getting satisfied, you can say, because of the product and services which is being supplied by these multinational companies. Now moving ahead with the next pointer, corporate social responsibility. So in India, it is mandatory for the companies which are earning net profit of rupees 10 lakh or more as per the Companies Act 2013. So all those companies which are earning net profit of rupees 10 lakh or more in a year have to mandatorily take out 2% of their net profit and invest it in the CSR activities. What is CSR? Corporate social responsibility. And how does it work? And why this should be done by the company? Let's say, I have already clarified in the earlier lectures also that as a businessman, whatever you get is from the society. Land is the acquisition of the society. Labor is the member of society. Capital, nothing but saving of the society, and the businessman itself belonging to the society. You are in existence because society accepts your product. You are able to earn profit as a multinational company or as any category of company because the society is ready to pay out for your product and accepting your product. If the society stops accepting your product, you will be immediately thrown out of the market. So yes, we have to actively engage into CSR activities. Then standardization. What is meant by standardization? Standardization means establishing a standard or a benchmark for production, for supply chain, for employees management, for service delivery, or let's say for everything. Let's say if a company is selling a product, take example, there are two markets A and B. Company is keeping a pricing strategy of 100 rupees per unit in market A and let's say 200 rupees per unit in market B. That is not an ideal example of standardization. The company keeps uniform prices irrespective of the market, and it should be only, there should be only minor fluctuation with the exchange rate. Due to exchange rate, whatever fluctuation would be there, that would be avoided. But the company should have all, you can say, always keeping what? The standard prices. Not only the prices, but the service quality which they deliver, the product category what they deliver, and the category of their services, means whole of the management of supply chain. Last but not least, we talk about cultural exchange. When people meet from the you can say different part of the world in these multinational company, because they hire from everywhere. Wherever they go, they pick up the best resources they find in terms of human resources. They pick up them and they you can say train them and they bring them on board, and they utilize them and their intelligence for the betterment of the society and the profitability of the company. So because of that, when people are working there, the organization have its own culture. That's called organizational culture. Irrespective of the caste, creed, language, educational background, people come together from different part of the countries and work. While they are working, they, you can say, develop, you can say, exchange of their cultural habits, festival, language and everything. So yes, the multinational companies are the driving forces for the cultural exchange also. Hope it would help you for preparation of your examination, and the explanation which I am giving by keeping the audiences in mind, that they can get idea of these pointers and they can think on the pointers and should be able to reproduce into the examination. So this series which I have started for international business management is meant for international business student in AKTU University, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam University, and universities across the nation which have similar syllabus and similar topics in their syllabus. Now let's talk about one of the most fascinating topic about called business environment. What is business environment? It refers to all the factors and forces which surround a business and affect its decision making. See, as a business, you are prone to many actions and many you can say deliverables from everywhere. You are dependent upon the supplier, you are dependent upon the channel intermediaries, you are dependent upon the government policies, consumer, your human resources, amount of capital which your company do have. These all forces are coming together, and together we called them a business environment. Means the environment, the surrounding in which your business is living, called business environment. So international business environment is what? The external forces or factors that influence the operation and decision making of a businesses, basically involved in international trade and investment. All those business which are involved in international trade and related activities, all those forces which are affecting them is called business environment. So these factors could be economic, political, legal, cultural, technological, environmental, which have understanding the international business environment. This is crucial for companies seeking to expand and operate in foreign market. So the companies which are ready to go global, they have to take care of the environment at the global rate also. Let's move further to find out what kind of environment and what influence they have on the businesses. So first thing, economic environment. So global economic environment is nothing but the economic condition in the country. Whatever economic patterns they follow in that country is going to, your company is going to get affected by that particular policy, pattern or the condition of that country. So let's talk one by one. First one is global economic condition, in which what we have to see is the overall health of the world economy. Means at the if let's say the world is going for recession, you cannot boost your productivity because the demand at the global market is quite lower than what you are expecting. So you cannot boost your production. You have to design your marketing policy, production policy, financial policy as at par with the global economic environment. So including growth rate, inflation, unemployment, recession risk, etc. You have to take care in that. Second thing is market size and its potential. The market in which you are intended to supply your product, what is that size of the market and what potential it have for profitability. Because if you are a businessman, you have to, you are not gambler that you will be taking the risk at any magnitude. No, you as a businessman are going to take risk, but the risk should be calculated. It should be measured on. That's the difference between a gambler and a businessman. Then currency exchange rate, the country in which you are going, the currency exchange rate of that country is going to influence your business activities. So fluctuation in exchange rate, it can in fact impact your profitability, it can impact the pricing of goods, and also the financial planning for companies which are engaged in international business. So if you are going in a country which is economically unstable and it has a very fluctuating rate of exchange, this is going to hamper your own economic health. Next thing is international trade and investment. So the flow of goods, services, capital across the border influenced by trade agreement. There are many countries in the world, in spite of WTO is there, IMF is there, you can say World Bank is there, a lot many economic integrative you can say institutions are there which are trying to promote the global trade. In spite of that, there are many you can say multiple countries which are not associated with these global bodies, and trading in those countries is still a nightmare for the companies. They are not willing to move into, let's say take example of North Korea. There is a dictatorship. Companies normally avoid going there because the policy is completely unclear. It is one man show over there. So if one man, he is in favorable unless you can say he is you can say in a simple word, you have to rely upon the one particular brain, and the human brain is quite fluctuating in its terms. They can decide differently, and if that person who is a dictator of that country is not you can say finding you adequate for his own country, he may punish you severely, or he may you can say what is called capture all the resources and amount you have invested in that country. So companies like multinational company or any other company will not be having interest in establishing trading relationship in that particular country. Now next point we can say economic system. Let's say variation in market structure, capitalism hai, socialism hai, mixed economy hai. What is capitalism? Means but in that particular country it is completely privatized. Means the market is going to decide the pricing policy, and market is controlling the demand and supply patterns are controlling the trade. In socialism, government control the trading policies and everything. Means government you can say will have the complete authority in order to allow or not allow that particular trading partner. And in a mixed economy, like India is a mixed economy which is working on public private partnership model. So we call it PPP model, public private partnership. There are multiple operations which are where central government, the state government and many private investors have financed together. Take example of Delhi Metro, take example of Metro in Mumbai which is working on the PPP model. Take example of many other companies also. Let's say the LIC is going to get privatized, only some stake of it is going to privatize, means that also will be working in a model of public private partnership. So that's called mixed economy, where both the players do have some weightage and they together you can say derive and not only derive but control the economic forces in that country. So that's called economic environment. Let's move to the next. Social and cultural environment. Society and culture of a country is going to you can say decide that your product is going to get accepted in that country or not. Take one case study. McDonald, when entered in Indian market, they entered with beef and pork product. Like they sell globally, they entered in Indian market, a globally successful company, they entered in Indian market with their standardized product, and they have seen defeat. They faced complete market failure in India. They hired an Indian marketing expert who conducted research on their product and later on suggested to change their menu, because in India the beef eaters and pork eaters can be counted on you can say finger. They are very less in quantity and number. So they introduced new product Mac Aloo Tikki, and once they introduced, people started loving them, started visiting them, and together and today it is the most grabbable and ready to eat you can say snack and most favorite one among the teenagers and everybody. So the culture is something that is going to decide, or you can say the social environment is going to decide your product's future into the market. So let's take example of language and communication, then cultural norms, values, consumer ka behavior, business ka etiquette in a particular country. These are the factors which are affecting your social and cultural environment. Next we talk about political environment. This is purely for the governmental arrangement in a country. Government stability means if the government is stable, their policies will be stable, their rule, regulation and everything will be there, system will be managed and well versed with that. So if the government is unstable, similarly it will happen with the policies, it will happen with the structure, and it is not recommended to the companies to move into that country where the system is not set up, government is not stable. Then government policies, especially trade related policies and foreign trade policies of a particular government, that is going to be either restraining or driving force for the country companies. Let's say in India we have said that we have came up with the policy, the Modi government has came up with the policy of Make in India, made in India, that is inviting global manufacturers to India. They should come here, they manufacture here in India, government is providing all the facilities to them, all the infrastructure to them, all the support to them. They should come here, they manufacture here and they supply it to the world. Means in that order the country's balance of payment position will be corrected, and in order to you can say we will be changing the pattern of being a labor intensive country to becoming a capital intensive country. Then international relation of that country with other countries, because if the country is a troublemaker, like I have quoted earlier also, North Korea is a nightmare where people will not be you can say going for business, so that international relation of the country with other countries is going to decide your fate. Political ideologies, either you are socialist, you are capitalist or something like we have discussed in the last slide. Next is legal environment. Laws, regulations of a particular country related to trade, foreign trade, taxation policy. Then regulatory bodies, like in India we have for money market we have Reserve Bank of India, for capital market we have stock exchanges, and SEBI. Basically SEBI is the regulating body. We have for commodity market, we have different entities which are handling, you can say, or managing, or let's say issuing directives and keeping an eye on the trade practices. Likewise, in other countries, if they have the system, the regulatory bodies are present, we have to comply with those regulations, and before entering and after entering also. Dispute resolution. If a country does provide mechanism for dispute resolution, because you are going to enter in an agreement of trade, and disputes are inevitable part of that. So yes, if there is a body for handling these disputes, for resolving these dispute, then it's a go for the company to that country. And then legal framework. These are the pointers which from the legal environment point of view we should keep an eye. Technological environment, let's say advancement of the technology, infrastructure availability in that country, and the you can say their way towards digital transformation. Like in India, you can find QR code and UPI payment used by even the vegetable vendor also. Like the same environment is not there in all across the world. Means of course developed countries are quite developed with terms of fintech transactions and all, and cyber security protocols they have, but there are still many countries which is lacking with the basic infrastructure like electricity, like you can say internet facility, and the basic thing is education. Research and development facility in that country, that's called technological environment. Environmental and ecological factors are also there, which is going to affect your decision making in terms of entering in any market or going global for your business. Sustainability. Nowadays we are advised for sustainable consumption, sustainable production, sustainable practices. What is sustainability? Means using the resources by keeping in mind that there is future generation coming, right? By not harming the, you can say, intake of or share of the future population. If we are the people who are going to use all the petroleum, all the coal, all the resources from the earth, then what our children will use? We have to keep an eye on the resources of consumption, resources which we are consuming, because if we utilize it to the 100%, there is no coming back. Means the coal, if utilized for 100%, it cannot be manufactured in a span of time. It is, once it is gone from earth, it will be gone completely. So we have to develop or identify sources which are for which are available forever. Means options we have to search. Let's say solar energy is there, wind energy is there, tidal energy is there. If we focus on developing technologies and you can say consumption and production and consumption in that from that particular sources, then it will release the pressure on coal, petroleum and other things. Next is climate change. It is a trouble. The world is experiencing it, and world is, you can say, having fear about, let's say, global warming, melting of glaciers, changing of climate. That's going to be actually a trouble, and companies have to deal with that. Natural resources. Lot of natural resources are on the verge of extinction. I have mentioned some of them. And there are many environmental regulations. So these are the factors from the environmental and ecological point of view which are going to affect your business. So that's it for the day, guys. Thank you for your patience learning. Do like, do share and subscribe the channel, because if you won't study from this channel, the effort which we have made and creating the videos like it and uploading it will be actually of no meaning. So Thank you very in advance. Dr. Dwivedi signing off. Thank you.